Okay, go ahead and pause the video to plot your own points. I already did it for you. Make sure you're pretty accurate at these. The vertical distances will make a big difference. So, remembering that you use stat, edit, and then stat, calc, linreg. To do it on the calculator, we're going to be learning how to use Excel to do the same thing. We find out that y is negative 2x plus 30. Yay. One thing to notice, this kind of looks a little curvy, doesn't it? It looks a little bit like maybe it would be better as a parabola than a line, but let's just take a look. So in order to calculate the new y coordinates, one thing we can do it by hand. We can say negative 2 times 7 plus 30. Negative 14 plus 30 is 16. You can do it faster on your calculator. Okay, so the button next to y equals is window, and window x max, I'm going to make x max 20, because the biggest number I would need to trace at is 15. If you do that, you're able to trace at numbers bigger than 10. It won't let you trace at numbers that aren't in the viewing window.
Before I go on, one comment is that you have to go to y equals and type in negative 2x plus 30. This is the y equals. That goes into your calculator first. Then you can trace.
So I went ahead and did trace. Okay, I want you to plot the new points with X marks. Use X marks. Okay, so use X marks for these new best fit line points. So instead of 718, we now have 716, 9, 12, 11, 8, 13, 4, and 15, 0. And notice that unlike the data points, the linear points actually have to form a line. So this is why it gets really confusing if you just use dots for everything. This is why I suggest X's for some of this stuff. So I'm going to try and draw a line that goes nice and straight through these. There we go. That's the equation of what line? Well, negative 2x plus 30. All right, the residuals, dots are original data. And the X's are the, what do you call it? Best fit or regression line. Okay. The residuals are the vertical difference between the actual values and the predicted values. So I'm going to draw in the residuals in blue. First residual is this vertical distance. Second residual, third, fourth, fifth. You can get them without looking at the picture by looking at the two tables. The first two values are 18 and 16. 18 minus 16 is positive 2. Okay, and so forth. If the line is above the dot, then the residual is negative. So these next three are actually negative. And if the residual is below and the line is above, like in the last one, 15.2 versus 15.0, 2 minus 0 is positive 2. Okay, so what happens is, let me just make a little mark that how you do that without the graph. Okay, so notice something a little peculiar about this. All the negative numbers are in the middle. And this is one of the kinds of indicators that a line may not be the best fit. And as I noticed at the very beginning, maybe a parabola. The quadratic fit. And if you look on your calculator when you do stat calc, there's other things besides ln reg. There's quadratic reg, there's cubic reg, there's an exponential regression. There's all sorts of other curves that you can fit the data to. Also, notice if you've done things correctly, the residuals will always add up to 0.